Hi, I'm Tim Scales, the Director of the Center for Entrepreneurship and the Center for Economic Education here at Indiana University East. It's my pleasure to introduce you to another episode of In Your Business. We talk to local entrepreneurs, we learn about their business, we learn about why they started their business, how they started their business, some of the opportunities their businesses has provided them and their community, as well as some of the hurdles they've gone through, some of the challenges. Welcome to another episode of In Your Business. Today we're going to interview with a couple young entrepreneurs, so young that they've just acquired the business, and I don't think it was something either one of them was actually pursuing. It just happened for them, which is what happens in entrepreneurship. All so often we get opportunities and we act upon them, and that's what's happened with AJ's Diner, formerly the Main Street Diner in Richmond, Indiana. So today we're going to meet the new owners of AJ's and just kind of talk about yourselves and talk about the business and find out what's going on with entrepreneurship today in Richmond, Indiana. So welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So Amanda, Josh, we're going to find out a little bit about your backgrounds, but you're the new owners of AJ's Diner, and AJ stands for Amanda and Josh.
Yeah.
So that's got to be exciting to know that it's yours and what you're doing. So
It's definitely overwhelming for sure.
oh, I can imagine. I know I've been in the diner since you acquired it, and I know how hard you're working, and I know the commitment it takes.
Yes.
But in entrepreneurship, that's what we do. I mean, we have to commit, and it's hard to understand the fun, but I know it's there, and we're going to learn about that. But before we do, let's talk about you as individuals. And Josh, did you grow up in Richmond?
Yes.
So
We worked down at a small diner on East Street up until a couple years ago.
I remember I had you in class here at the university, and you were working there. Your mother and you were working at Paulie's Diner. Is that correct?
Yes,
And tell me about Paulie's. I believe is that the oldest diner in Richmond?
it was until it was shut down here recently.
Okay. Do you know when it opened?
And not exactly. I think it was in the 40s.
So sometime probably in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, Paulie's was kind of that spot where everybody went. I mean, breakfast, lunch. And I know when I came there, it was always really busy. And it was a great place. So that's where you kind of got your start.
Yep.
So as you were going through school, I know as a student, I had you in marketing classes. Did you know what you wanted to be?
No, not in particular. I just enjoyed being my own boss at Paulie's because me and my mom ran it. So at one point in time.
Okay. I'm not sure you were, I think you thought you were your own boss, but I think your mother was probably your boss.
Yeah, she's the one that was the boss.
That's kind of what I think. But I know a lot of people knew her and respected her. They got to know you and respected you, and you guys did a great job there at Paulie's. So that's kind of where the foundation, I think, came from for what you're doing today. And so we'll get back to that. Amanda, did you grow up here in the area?
Yeah, my family was from here. My dad was in the Air Force, though, when I was born, so I was actually born in Missouri. And then we lived in South Carolina for a while before we moved back.
Okay.
So.
And as a young child and growing up, did you think you were going to be an entrepreneur?
No, never. Never thought that we would actually, or I would ever actually own part of a business.
What were you thinking? What did you want to be?
Well, growing up, in high school, I did take classes for teaching, but decided that that was not my forte. So my mom was studying to be a nurse, and as I graduated, I decided that that was what I wanted to do, was be a nurse.
Okay.
So that's what I am now.
So in high school, you realized you wanted to become a nurse,
Mm-hmm.
and you went on to get your nursing degree.
Yep, graduated in 2013 from Ivy Tech.
Okay. So in 2013, you graduate from Ivy Tech, you get your nursing degree. This is what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a job.
Yeah.
And you're
I love
working
it.
today at the hospital, is
Yep,
that correct?
I work third shift at Reed Hospital.
Okay. What are you doing there?
I work on 5 East, which is hospice and oncology, taking care of cancer patients.
Okay. So you're working third shift?
Yes.
So you're working third shift, and then now you have the diner.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the hours of the diner, Josh?
6 to 2.
So you're open at 6 a.m., you're closing at 2 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you close at 2 p.m., is that it for the day, or?
No, usually picking up items for the store.
Okay.
Anything that we need to pick up for the day or for tomorrow until we can get to the bigger place where we can get our supplies in bulk.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is you're working third shift. You're running the diner. You're in there. You're working it. I know that. And you're open from 6 to 2, which tells me you're going in at what time?
We're going about 5.
So you're in there at 5. And then when you close at 2, then you're trying to figure out, okay, what do we need? What do we have to do? Probably if you're short on some things, you can get them locally. And then if you're needing to get large supplies, you're doing that in volumes probably an hour from here.
Yeah.
But keeping track of that inventory, trying to make sure everything's running smooth, that's quite a chore.
Yeah.
And you say you're working third shift. When are you sleeping?
About 4 hours a day.
So you're sleeping about 4 hours a day. Josh, when are you sleeping?
Oh,
It's probably about that.
I wake up on her lunchtime about 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, tell her hi, and
And that's
get
it.
ready to start the day.
Wow. So that's got to be difficult and challenging. It's something you guys have to get used to. You acquired the diner. We know it as the Main Street Diner. And I don't know, do you know how long the Main Street Diner's been a part of Richmond?
It was 50s, was it 1950s?
It was probably even earlier than that. It was Allsop's before the Main Street Diner.
Allsop's Grill.
Okay, I did not realize that. So right there on Main Street, it was at 16th and Main? So people have known that for years. It's part of their life, you know. Why'd you buy it?
The opportunity was there. Figured without risk, and never get a reward. So that's what I know what to do. Went ahead and try it.
Okay. So right out of college, I know you were working with your mother at Paulie's. And how long did you do that?
About 15 years.
So 15 years. It's almost hard for me to remember because I would come there and eat just because it was you and your mother there. I mean, you know, it was fun for me to be able to visit with you and see what you were doing. And then there were some issues that you guys moved away from that corner for a short time. You were not working for a couple years, I believe, and then you come in and acquire this. You buy the diner. And I read about it in the newspaper and I get excited because I think you're following your passion. When you were a student, I like to know, when I have students, and I have a lot of them, I try to get to know each one and understand what it is that they want to achieve, what they want to do. I never had a good read on you. However, I did when I came to the diner because I knew that's where your passion is. That's what you really enjoy. And so now for you to be able to own a diner, I'm so satisfied. I hope you are.
Yes.
So what excites you about it?
It's just being your own boss. I mean, it's a lot more hard work than I thought it was going to be. A lot of hours, but I think over time, if I build my team well, it'll become a lot easier, a lot more fun.
So tell me about the lot of hours, because I know I've been speaking with you a few times the last few weeks and trying to understand your hours. How many hours you work in a day?
10 to 12.
So you're in there working 10 to 12 hours a day. You're doing this how many days a week?
6.
And then you're taking Mondays off.
Mondays
Mondays
off
to go shopping or do
Okay.
accounting work.
Okay, so Josh, now you're starting to tell me the truth because you're in the diner 6 days a week, probably 12 hours a day. Then you're taking off Monday, but Monday's not really a day off. It's a day away from the diner. And that day is the day you're going and shopping for the large volumes, making sure that all the inventories, everything's ready for the rest of the week.
Yes.
So you're probably working 80 hours a week.
Good possibility.
But do you like it?
Yeah. I'm in it for the long goal. I'm
Which-
putting all the hours in now, so further down the road, I won't be putting in the long hours.
So you're hoping to get down to 50 hours a week?
Oh, at least 55.
Okay. So Josh, that's what you're doing. Amanda, what are you doing?
I run the books and then take care of the kids, so it seems to keep me busy while he's busy with the diner.
Right. But that's a balance, okay? Josh could be putting the time in that he is without the support that you're given. And yet what you're doing is balancing a job, third shift, a family. You're both balancing family. And then you're also doing the books and supporting the business.
Yeah.
So it's not uncommon to see you there either.
No, I know. I'm there probably at least once a day, just coming in, checking, making sure that they don't need anything.
And that's what it takes to be a successful entrepreneur, is just exactly what the two of you are doing. You're very hands-on. You're there. Makes all the difference. A couple times I've been in there. Everybody who comes in there knows you. Okay? They do. And that's a part of it, is they want to be there to support you. And I've watched, and people will have their lunch, and then they want to talk to you. They at least want to acknowledge you before they leave.
Yeah.
And that shows. So that's strong entrepreneurship. Okay? So let's talk about the business. You're there from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. You're serving breakfast and lunch. And I'm assuming you serve both the
All day
entire
long.
time.
Yes.
Yeah, we were really shocked that the breakfast serves until 2 o'clock.
I guess I'd
Everybody
be more
wants some
shocked the
biscuits
opposite.
and gravy.
Does people ever come in and order lunch at 8 a.m.?
Oh yeah.
They do. Okay. All right. But it's always busy. I mean, when I come there, the parking lot's full. You come inside, and you guys are doing a great job of turning people. But you're always busy when I'm there. Does it stay that way the entire day?
Pretty much up until 2 o'clock.
Okay. Then you tell people to get out so you can.
I can sit there as long as they want. I'm gonna be there anyway.
Really?
But
Okay.
We
we'll
may
have
give
people
them a
out there at
broom.
5:30 waiting.
Okay. The other side of this is your mother is working for you. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the community knows your mother from the many years of Paulie's. How long did she work there?
25 years.
Yeah.
So she gave 25 years, and now she's turning around and she's working for you at the diner. She's got to be thrilled.
She loves that she doesn't have to do the books and all that stuff anymore.
So what is she doing?
She is in there cooking. She's making her specialty lunches and her sides and stuff, all original recipes. So
Okay. So tell me about some surprises. Has anything surprised you now that you're an owner?
Well, I bought the place thinking it would be a turnkey business, and the coolers needed all changed out, and updating all the systems, and point of sale, trying to learn that made a big difference.
Okay. So when we think of a diner, we think of a grill and we think of cooking. And what you're saying to me now is that you had to change out freezers, you've had to change out point of sale, so you had to bring in a new computer system, you've had to learn how to program and react to it. So there's been a lot of things beyond just cooking lunch and breakfast.
And even to do all that, all the permits and everything else you have to apply for.
Did you have to get all new permits then?
Yes,
Okay. Was that time consuming?
it takes months.
Really? So what's that process like?
It's a lot of signing papers, a lot of fine print.
Okay. Did you have people helping you, or?
we had a lot of people, a lot of business owners around town giving us ideas of what we needed to do. It was really nice to know the people that we know.
Bob from Hometown Deli helped a lot. Steve Trzini from Little Sheba's, he was a big help.
Okay.
Scott from the Small Business Bureau,
Yep.
he spent good 4
Hours.
months with us,
Good
hours and
hours.
hours on end helping us to get ready.
Okay. So once you knew that you were going to acquire it, you started working with local individuals in similar businesses and certainly professions, and they were actually able to help you walk through all this?
Yeah.
So it's not as easy as a turnkey business. You don't walk in one day,
No.
you're the owner,
No.
and you're going. You had a whole lot of paperwork.
Take all the advice you can get.
Okay. So that had to be shocking.
Yeah,
Stressful?
definitely. It was a rough few days.
Okay. So was it exciting, though, that day you found out that you were going to do it?
Well, it took us some time. When we found out that the business was up for sale, we weighed our options to see if that was something that we really wanted to do, if we'd have the time for it. And we were just we had a lot of support from his customers and his family. And so we were like, well, let's do it.
Sure. Well, I mean, you started off with an interesting comment. You had to decide if you had the time for it.
Yeah.
And I think the honest answer might have been no.
Yeah.
So I think the better question is, are we going to make the time for it? And I think you have.
Yeah.
So how many employees do you have?
We're about 5 people now.
Okay. So 6-day operation, opening at 6, closing at 2, and you're doing that with 5 individuals. It's hard to take time off.
You don't get time off.
There's
No?
no time off.
So interesting. Um, there's things that go into this. I mean, I know when you were a student, you had to take your accounting class, you had to take finance, you had to take marketing. You might have taken the entrepreneurship class. But do you feel like those classes prepared you, or once you dive in the tank, it's real?
Probably prepared me, but it got me ready for the real world application of it, using some of the programs, and it's nothing like what it says in the book.
Yeah, can you give me an example of that, or is it?
Just the sheer amount of time you put into it. You see in a book, it's like take these particular steps to do this. There's roadblocks in front of every one of those steps.
Okay.
You just have to work around whatever comes at you.
Sure. And see, I know that. And so a lot of times what I figure is it's about experience, okay? I mean, I think we give you a great experience in the classroom, but you also get a lot of great experience out doing. And, you know, that first time, and I hope this doesn't happen, but that first time somebody's unhappy with their meal, there's nothing that's going to prepare you for that, because that's two personalities coming together, the person who's unhappy and yourself. And I know you'll do everything to make it right, but there's no way to prepare for that. You're smiling because I think there's probably something else that came up that you weren't prepared for. But each day is going to be different. And you know, reacting to weather. You're fairly new in the business, so you may not have had to react to that yet. But you know, you could go buy a bunch of inventory preparing for a great week, and we have a snowstorm. We have a blizzard that shuts you down for days.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's hard to prepare for some of those things. And I understand that. Point of sale, I'm impressed with yours. You've got the state-of-the-art point of sale that you can just flip around, people can sign, pay, and be gone. Emailed receipts. That's today's technology.
Yeah.
Was that hard to learn?
It was actually surprisingly easy.
It's very simple.
Yeah, it's like a walkthrough system. We're using Square,
Okay.
which it's just an iPad point of sale, and they made it really easier on me when I was looking at all the different point of sale options, and it wasn't as expensive as most of those options.
Okay. So let's talk about looking, okay?
I spent hours on the phone with Microsoft, and there was a place in Pennsylvania, Shopkeep, talking to them about all the different options that they had, but everything was like $2,000 or more. So we weren't sure we wanted to dive right into that kind of money right off the bat.
Sure. I kind of get the feeling that that's kind of how it is in small business ownership. You go in, you use the word turnkey, thinking you're buying a business, we're going to go. You found out it takes months of preparation, getting all the paperwork, all the legal stuff, all the certificates, everything you need. Then even the point of sale took you hours, and you had to talk to a lot of people trying to figure things out, probably overwhelmed.
Oh, yeah.
There were probably days you just hung up the phone and said, I don't know what to do.
I'm done.
You said, I'm done.
I used my work as an escape from everything that was going on at home.
Yeah.
I was like, yay, I get to go to work.
Josh, did you think you'd ever get there?
I knew we'd get there sooner or later.
Okay, you just had to be patient. So what happens is, it's more than that though. You walk in, there's a menu from previous owners. There's norms of what they had, what they served, what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you have your own ideas. So I'm sure you want to redo the menu. You want to bring in new items. You want to change items. You want to do your own thing. What's that like?
It takes a lot of time and preparation.
Yeah.
We try new things daily, and if it works, we put it on. If it doesn't, we don't use it anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of customer suggestion.
Yeah.
So you really listen to your customers?
Yeah.
I hear that a lot on the show. I hear entrepreneurs that come in and I ask them, how do you become successful in business? And they always say you listen to your customers.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. The customers will tell you what they want.
You can't do what you want to do. You have to do what everybody wants you to do.
Okay, and do it well.
Yeah.
So what's one of those changes? What's something that you've listened to a customer and you've implemented?
Your pancakes. Everybody's wanted pancakes for the longest time.
So there was not pancakes, and
No.
now you serve pancakes.
They've never done pancakes until we opened the restaurant.
What's special about the pancakes?
I don't know.
I don't know. People love
Everybody wants
pancakes.
pancakes.
Really?
Yeah.
So they were coming there, and yet they were wanting pancakes. They weren't getting them. You come in.
No, they were
and you start
serving them there,
them.
but
Yeah.
from the previous restaurant, we never had them.
Okay, okay. So now you're serving pancakes, and people are happy.
Oh yeah,
I'll have to try the pancakes.
pancakes are good.
Okay. What are some other surprises that you might have had since you've opened?
I don't know, just every day is a surprise.
Really?
You find new things that need to be fixed or need to be done. Nothing's ever fixed. You fix one thing and another thing goes wrong.
Okay. Well, you know, you purchased a diner that's been there a long time.
Long time.
And so there's always going to be a lot of those type of things. Day-to-day operation, you said you have 5 employees. It's a lot of responsibility for you to make sure that they're there, make sure that everything's going well for them as well as for yourself. And I'm sure you're the type of people that really want to concern about your employees.
It's definitely a new experience trying to be a manager on top of everything else.
Gives you a new appreciation for everything in life, huh?
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you set your prices? That's something that I always like to know.
Well, we sat down and did a cost analysis of everything, and you have to have a specific margin to be able to pay everyone to buy more products and everything else. We worked with the Small Business Bureau for months getting all that right. They showed us if your margins are too low, you'll just be losing money or you'll giving stuff away. And we've got a specific sheet set up till we put everything in and throws it out across the Excel, and we always know if we're making money or losing money.
Okay. And I believe you showed that to me when I was there. You've got it right there on your flip screen to where you can see basically by the hour what you're doing.
Yep.
And you talk about business coming a long way. I mean, I know it's frustrating to get the right system, and it's certainly expensive at times.
Oh yes.
But the information we're given, I mean, back in the day when that diner started, they probably went months without really knowing if they were showing a profit. Today, you're seeing it within the hour.
Yeah.
So you can make some quick changes and react to it. And that's great. So tell me about the community. The community is used to the Main Street Diner, and now you acquire it and change it to AJ's. And AJ's is on that corner that we've known so well for so long. What has been the response from the community?
We've had surprise. Some people come in expecting the old owners and not realizing that it's changed hands. But most everybody knows Josh and Jenny from Paulie's, and they're glad to be back.
See, that's why I was anticipating, because I
Yeah.
know just from the interactions I've had, people are excited. They know your reputation, they know that you're committed to the community, and they want to support you. So you happy to be back in?
Yes, glad to be working again.
So when we talk about entrepreneurship, I always look at the risk and the rewards, okay? And a lot of people think that the biggest reward is to be your own boss. And you've mentioned that already today. You've mentioned about being your own boss. But what do you think the largest reward is in entrepreneurship?
Probably being able to retire one day. Because I think there's no other retirement option out there. Social Security or nothing will be there for me.
Yeah.
But at some point, maybe I'll have a team that can run it, and I'll have a steady income
Okay.
to be able to be retired.
So it's kind of your retirement then. Amanda, did you have some other aspirations for it, or is that?
No, a couple years ago I was talking to one of the doctors at the hospital, and they said that, you know, the way that things are now, the only way that you would be able to retire with enough income would to be able to own your own business. And she did. She has her own business on top of being a doctor. So I don't know, that's just something we always kind of thought of in the back of our head, but not really pushed forward to until just recently.
Okay. Certainly, I think as we look at that, one area that I don't think I was able to teach you in the day that you were here is succession planning. And that is something that I do bring into my business classes today, as we do talk about succession planning. When you have a small business, the option of how you exit that business is very important, because I mean, you're building it up, as you know. I mean, you were in business for several years with your mother, and now today you own a business. But What's going to happen to your business? You have to have a plan. You have to know how long you want to run it, and then at what point you want to exit it, and how you want to exit it. So many people in the past have ran a business and then closed. That's not great for a community, and it's not great for you. What you want to do is you want to be able to run it successfully and have a succession plan for somebody else to run it, whether you help them acquire it, because I mean, it's hard to get the capital.
Yes.
And certainly when you're young, trying to get the capital is very difficult.
Yes.
But if you could work with somebody as a part of your succession plan that says, okay, at this point, I'm going to sell it even on contract, but still work side by side for 5 years so they don't have all the surprises that you had. So there's many ways of exiting, but making sure you have a good succession plan is important.
Yeah.
So I'm sure as you were working with the small business development, they were asking you about your succession plan and trying to get you ready, or I hope so anyway.
Yeah.
And but as we go forward, do you have some plans for the AJ's Diner?
We're going to have, the kitchen's going to be completely redone at this point. We're just waiting on permits and everything to go through, and then hopefully when we reopen, we can add extra stuff to the menus.
Okay. How many people can you seat in there?
There's 34 seats, 5
Okay.
booths, and then 14 stools.
So 34 is your total number at any given time. And since you've opened, how long's the line been outside the door?
Every seat's been full every day so far.
Yeah.
So just about any time you go in, it's going to be difficult to get a seat, but it's worth waiting for. Okay.
The earlier the better.
Earlier meaning 6 a.m.?
Yeah. The crowd's not as big in the morning.
Okay,
so
well, I probably
coming in
won't
early.
witness that, but but at least at 8:30 in the morning, I know that it's busy, and at 12 noon, I know it's busy. But well, each of you should be proud of what you're doing and what you've done, trying to work, third shift and keep the family and keep everything going in a family business.
Yeah.
And I know it's a lot of your family that's there. I believe, did I meet your brother last week when I was in there?
He was, he's the dishwasher there.
And I know your family is there, so I mean it's really neat to see you guys working together. So keep doing a great job. This concludes another episode of In Your Business. Today we met with 2 interesting entrepreneurs. Maybe they didn't even realize they were going to become entrepreneurs until the opportunity became present in front of them. They worked with the community, they worked with other people doing similar jobs, they tried to get all the information together they could, and then they brought it together and made a masterpiece. They're owning what used to be the Main Street Diner. Today it's AJ's Diner. And I imagine you're going to know AJ's Diner for many, many years as you come to Richmond, Indiana, because I know this young couple, and I know how committed they are to entrepreneurship, and they will make it work at any cost. No matter how many hours they have to spend in a day, no matter how many days of the week, they're going to make a success for our community. Thank you again for watching In Your Business.